And it's the third season of the Diode SuperGP Champions Trophy. And as you said, Rob, big fields of riders. But more importantly than anything right now, this championship is not done yet.
But what are the maths here, Greg? You might know. I'm terrible with maths. I don't even have a standard 8, so don't even ask me that kind of thing. If Matty Scholz win this race, is it done and dusted? No.
Well, if I look at the way things have gone, yes, if Matthew Scholz win, it'll be done.
Because there's 50 points up for grabs. I think he's got a 32-point lead or something. So if Matty Scholz beats Clint Seller or Michael White, it's championship done. So watch out for the new, I love the new yellow wheels on that M-Tech Nashua Racing Yamaha. So good job there from Ricky Moraes and the team to make us see Matty Scholz just a little bit better with those bright yellow wheels, but not going to be easy. Greg Caldenes, we spoke about him earlier this morning on the opening link to the camera. Watch out for the Kawasaki man coming right on that bike. Last time out at Desi Raceway, had it not been for the poor qualifying that he got in the wet qualifying, Greg Caldenes was the fastest rider probably down at Desi Raceway. So watch out for the green Kawasaki. Third on the grid at the moment. He's got the 2 Yamahas ahead of him. But with Matthew Scholz thinking of championship, with Clint Seller thinking of championship, with Michael White a little bit off song and thinking of championship, it's all set up for Greg Caldenes to pick up Kawasaki's first win of the year.
Rob, I think you're 100% right. It's literally the best platter you could ask for a win from the Kawasaki rider and that creepy crawly transport.co.za Kawasaki. Greg Caldenes had an incredible outing last weekend at the opening of the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit where him and Lance Isaacs shared victories. So even Lance Isaacs has a possibility. But unfortunately, as we heard from Isaacs himself, this circuit is not conducive to the BMW. So when you've got a wide open flowing circuit like Kyalami is, you are going to see him there. Magic Michael White will be there as well, as will a possibility of David McFadden.
McFadden's back.
McFadden is back into the Super GP Champions Trophy, hopefully going to be here for the rest of the season. Well, we know that, but hopefully for the next season too. But more importantly than anything else is this championship is not done. So we've got a championship fight on our hands. I'm just trying to get onto our Facebook page here, and I've got the actual current point standings. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was about 42 points between them. Could be a bit wrong. I'm just waiting for the thing to upload here. We're a little bit slow on signal due to the fact that we have got everybody watching on the Facebook page at SuperGP. And we're a little bit out of town. But
it's that Westby team from America watching Matty Scholz.
They're stealing all of our data.
You've got data in America.
Give us our data. Data must fall. Data must fall. Hashtag data must fall. Hopefully Diode can do something about that. Well, the way things are going right now, they're going to have to try and make a plan because
there's obviously
there's a massive need and there's a massive want for it. So
MotoGP, World Superbikes, what's that?
We've had everybody go live via the Facebook page today, and we're about to get our Premier Class via Facebook page as well,
been awesome.
In terms of the way things are going to happen with this championship. So on the front row, it is potential South African champion Matthew Scholz.
First time of asking.
Yes, indeed. Alongside him is 4-time South African champion looking for his 5th back-to-back title. And then we've got a 3-time South African champion alongside them on the creepy crawly transport.co.za Kawasaki, Greg Caldenes. So it's all got to be done here this weekend. It's going to be sorted out in the next couple of minutes. Stand by as we go into this race. 29 points is the lead. Here we go for race number 1. As they head down towards turn number 1, it's Matthew Scholz who's done it right. He goes into the lead, hole shots with Seller on his tail. Round the outside comes Magic Michael White. Going to make it, not quite. Going to be Yamahas 1, 2, and 3, I thought. But Greg Caldenes had other issues to sort out there as he went into turn 2. He now hangs on to 3rd place. 4th place is Magic Mike. In 5th, it's Brandon Good. Behind them comes Garrick Flock. And incredibly, Morne Caldenes on the Suzuki GSX-R 1000 in the new colours, up there in 7th.
Brilliant ride from Morne Caldenes. We know he's got a great turn of pace here at Red Star Raceway, pretty much his home track. So watch out for the MotoGP-styled Suzuki to make its way through the field. But out at front at the moment, it's the 2 protagonists. Clint Seller, the number 1 bike, has got to beat Matty Scholz. Already getting it sideways, coming onto the short back straight now. So Matty Scholz asking everything he can out of that ETR Nashua Yamaha as they go down into the braking zone for the first time. Garrick Flock, did you see how sideways he was on the Yamaha for the first time this weekend, trying to make a couple of moves there on the inside, and it looks like he spread the field already because Greg Caldenes got Michael White right on his tail, and then Brandon Good there in 5th or 6th, but already losing a little bit of time now to the leading 4.
Let's have a look at how the scenario could work out. There's 29 points between these 2 riders, and Seller can score 25 points here. So he could bring it down to about 4 points difference if there's a DNF out of that M-Tech Racing Yamaha. Right now, This is exactly
Here he
what
goes.
he needs. And he has a little look into the final turn onto that back straight. In fact, it was a big look.
No.
Oh, it's a massive one! Senna's gone down. Senna trying to go up the inside of the last turn onto the back straight, and he's binned it completely. Senna's out. That is the championship done right there.
Yeah.
That maneuver is going to be a massive, costly one, and that is not what we wanted. Matthew Skoltz very fortunate to survive that. The back tire of Sella tipping the front tire of Sella, crashing into the back end of Matthew Skoltz. We've got a replay of that down at that bottom turn, but as they cross the line, Skoltz now under massive threat, and the blood in the water is being felt. Here we go.
You can see
Sella
Skoltz runs a little bit wide, a little bit of a gap. Sella tries to go on. There was no gap there. So I don't know what Sella was doing. Lands big time on his head and on his back. So Sella definitely, he's knocked out a little bit maybe there, even a little bit of concussion maybe for Clint Sella. So don't know if it's going to see him in race number 2. So, but there was no gap there. I don't know what Sella was trying to do.
I don't know where he was looking to go there. There was definitely no gap. Yes, Matthew Skoltz ran a little wide on the second part of the apex, but that is the line to take in that corner. Skoltz hangs on. Greg Hildenace and Michael White would have seen that in basically double vision because they were right on the tail as that rider went down. But that is huge for this championship. A massive turnaround. At the bottom on the right-hand side, you can see Sella down. The medical team from ER24 making their way there as soon as possible. But I can tell you something, Matthew Skoltz is not holding back. He is going to take this victory. He's going to take this championship with a victory. He's not going to let that creepy Corley Kawasaki through, and he's not going to let Magic Mike through. The battle's going to be for second place here. It's the two protagonists, and this is also going to bode well for Michael White for second place in the championship as well.
Yeah, Michael White at the moment on track is Matthew Skoltz's closest championship rival. Greg Hildenace not too far back, I think in 4th in the championship, so this will be good points for him and another podium finish. But you can see Matthew Skoltz already starting to pull a little bit of a gap on the two riders just behind him.
Rob, just to correct you, sorry, buddy, you mentioned the fact that Michael White is fighting with Matthew Skoltz. He's actually fighting with Sella for second.
Yeah.
So Sella down now kicks him out of the championship, kicks him out of possibly second place in the championship as well if Michael White can stay where he is.
Sella's still down there.
See Sella's, he's set up at least, but he's still down at the bottom there. Here comes Magic Mike on the brakes. He's just stood up, in fact. And you can see that ER24 team on their way to him very, very quickly. And as they come around there across the line, it is Matthew Skoltz with a decent margin of probably about 2 seconds as they pass over.
51.3.
Hildenace right on his tail. 51.8, 51.8 out of Magic Michael White, 52.9 out of Brandon Good. Temba Khumalo up to 5th overall, buddy. That is an incredible outing here from the Bulawayo Bomber.
And a 54.5 from Temba Khumalo, so that's incredible lap times there. Ahead of Brent Herron, Alan John Fenter, Ivan Fonikak, a welcome return for him. Gareth Laverick down in 10th, not where he wants to be. Dave McFadden, and just trying to see, I can't see Lance Isaacs there. So Lance Isaacs, I don't think starting this race.
He didn't start the race. He had problems getting to the line. I don't think he was on the line at all. But I'm just looking at a little bit further back there, and you've just mentioned a whole bunch of riders. Temba Khumalo, Brent Herron, Alan John Fenter, and Garrick Flock. Now, you saw Garrick Flock get out of shape onto that short straight. I wonder if that maneuver split this group up.
Split the race up, yeah.
And they all had to take evasive action, and that allowed Khumalo through. So he is absolutely hauling at the moment. Great to see the Chief in action. It's basically 1st and 6th place right now between Temba Khumalo. Oh, in fact, I'm looking to see whether... I don't know if I saw Morna Hildenace there.
Yeah, he's just ahead of him.
Oh, yeah, yes, here he is.
Yeah, he's just ahead of them.
So he's just ahead of
So he's running in 5th. 5th place for Morna Hildenace on the Suzuki. That's an incredible effort. Remember, still the old Suzuki that they're running, so no traction control on that bike. About 20 horsepower down on any other bike out there. So incredible effort there from Uncle Andy's Suzuki team. But Temba Khumalo doing a great job here to lead out Brent Herron and AJ Fenter in the battle. What is that, 6th position?
Yeah, 6, 7,
so
and 8.
Best ride we've seen by miles this from Temba Khumalo this season. Brent Herron looking on the inside as they go into the right-hander where we saw all the action from Clint Sella and Matty Skoltz. Here we go, Michael White trying to make a move on Greg Hildenace for 2nd position, but Hildenace late on the brakes down the back straight. So Michael White doing everything he can to try and get past that very fast Kawasaki.
Well, the one thing I can say to the MTech team, if you are picking this up on Facebook, once we finish our live crossing to Facebook, remember, about a minute later, the entire race will be available to anybody worldwide. So you'll be able to actually show Matthew Skoltz exactly what went wrong. You can rewind, go to the point where Sella went up the inside, and actually show Matthew Skoltz where Sella made that massive mistake that I think is going to be probably the most costly one of his career. He had a chance of 5 championships in a row, and this is Matthew Skoltz now going for his 1st championship in South Africa, and he's done it in very good style here, staying upright after potentially both riders going down.
And you can see the difference between the Kawasaki and the Yamaha there, Greg Caldenas and Michael White. You can see Michael White able to put that Yamaha where he wants and at full lean angle, get on the gas, and the Yamaha holds its line. Greg Caldenas, you can see the rear wheel spinning. The biggest problem they've had with that Kawasaki, and I know with the Kawasaki that we race for the endurance racing, is that the rear at full lean angle just doesn't have the same kind of grip that the Yamaha does. As soon as you tap on the gas on the Kawasaki, the rear does step out, and you can see it there. It's so clear to see that Greg Caldenas, you can see him fighting the bike, and the Yamaha of Michael White behind him a lot smoother and able to pick the lines that he wants.
Well, he had to try and pick a line there to avoid crashing into the back end of Greg Caldenas' Kawasaki, because he had a small issue going through the first part of the dog bone. They come out of the dog bone now and head towards. So good on that Yamaha. Magic Mike just biding his time. Hopefully not going to make a mistake like we saw. He has a look also going into this final turn that takes them onto that big N4 straightaway and up that Pirelli straight now. Here they go. Yamaha versus Kawasaki. Michael White's in the prime position. He pulls out. He goes alongside. We could see a change up here for second place. We just unfortunately, as we go back further there, look, Temba Kamala fighting with Brent Herron.
Brent Herron is still trying to suffer to get past of Temba Kamalo. Look at the pace that Temba Kamalo bikes got over Brent Herron. He pulled about 6 or 7 bike lengths over the Yamaha and the Kawasaki rider behind him. So Temba Kamalo's ETR Yamaha is oh so fast. But like you said, Michael White has managed to make that move stick on Greg Caldenas up into second place. As they come across the line, Temba Kamalo, Brent Herron is now starting to close on Morne Caldenas on the Suzuki ahead of him. But Kamalo really doing everything he can now to try and hold off what would be his best finish of the season.
No doubt about that one. Best finish for Morne Caldenas too. So Caldenas and Temba Kamalo in with a shot of top 5s here for both of them. Right now, Michael White getting confirmation of that as they cross the line. We didn't quite get the overtaking maneuver, but he pulled off and pulled out along that back straight, got through on Greg Caldenas. Caldenas now, as you can see, still battling with the traction. You picked up on spot on there, Rob, in terms of the traction of the Kawasaki versus that Yamaha. The lean angle and the ability to get on the power on the lean angle is in the hands of the Yamaha riders. The Suzuki's been closed down by Temba Kamala. He's bringing along the two arch rivals behind him there. Brent Herron fighting hard, and Alan John Fenter doing a great job of a top 8 finish right now, but still has a chance of finishing in the top 5 before he heads off to Macau for the Macau Grand Prix on his Hygienica Racing Yamaha.
Yeah, it's a good ride there from AJ Fenter, like we said, on the Kawasaki, the older generation Kawasaki for this race meeting, because his proper full-spec Yamaha R1 race bike is going over to the Macau GP for him to race there. So only spent Kailami last weekend on the bike and now here. So a great ride this from AJ Fenter on that new machine. But you can see Brent Herron and AJ got a little bit more pace than Temba Kamalo ahead of them. But Ricky has done a great job in giving Temba Kamalo one very fast Yamaha bike there. Because if you watch down the straight here now, Brent Herron, he can't make the move on the inside, but watch how that ETR Nashua Yamaha just pulls away from the two men behind him.
It's great to see like a bit of a rivalry that started in what was originally before the NSF. What was the 75cc? The Derbies.
The
Derbies. Both these youngsters riding in Derbies when they started their careers, Brent Herron and Temba, and now back in full Super GP feel here and doing a great job. So super stuff. And I think Morne Caldenas might be in a bit of trouble here. Although he's still getting some decent lap times in the 54.7s, he is in trouble because he's got 54.6s and 54.2. A 54.2 out of Brent Herron on that last pass. That is incredible.
Yeah, Brent Herron doing everything he can to try and get past Temba Kamalo. But Kamalo doing a great job at braking late, hitting his apexes, making no mistakes yet. So it's a real mature ride from Temba Kamalo. Remember, first season on the big 1000cc machine. So has really got better as the season's got on. And look out for him next year to potentially be in the same team with Ricky Moraes. And you know, when you're in a team with Ricky Moraes, you can only progress. As we've seen with Matthew Scholz, potentially now looking at the 2016 Super GP champion.
Yes, indeed. Right. So as we go into the second half of this race, we're about to complete the halfway stage. It's all about Matthew Scholz hauling away at the front end. But further back there, you got a couple of the back markers fighting as well. I think I picked up on
Stoffberg and Dylan Gray.
Yeah, Dylan Gray. Dylan Gray all the way from
Natal with problems.
Looks like, yeah, Rita with... Oh, look at this. This is a nice little battle here. Dylan Gray fighting with, of course, a seasoned campaigner when it comes to Red Star Raceway. One of the instructors here. Evert Stoffberg.
Oh,
Herron had a big squeeze up the inside into the dog bone. Didn't quite make it stick, but he's definitely giving Kamala a run for his money now. Temba has got his work cut out for him to keep out the two riders behind. And Alan John Fenter sitting pretty at this stage, waiting for a mistake from one of those two.
And they're definitely going to catch the Suzuki rider, because remember, Morne Geldenhuys, no traction control, no rider aids on that Suzuki, so his tyre wear is definitely not going to last as much as the two Yamahas behind him, who have the traction control, slide control, wheelie control, you name it, those Yamahas have got it. But Herron definitely getting a little bit frustrated now, trying to find a pass. You can see, look how much Khumalo pulls down that back straight. AJ Fenter, they've almost lost him down the back straight. In fact, AJ Fenter's gone.
Yeah, yes.
We've lost AJ Fenter.
Well, he's there, but he's slowing.
He's got some problems on that Kawasaki.
So Alan John Fenton up, coming through the DO chicane, hand up on his tail, closing in there. A couple of riders right on that. Of course, is going to be Ivan van Niekerk, also on a Yamaha for the first time. Behind him is David McFadden on the BMW.
And Laverick. So what a sculpt for the likes of that man, Gareth Laverick, and of course, Ivan van Niekerk, to be racing with David McFadden. I mean, former South African champion, racing overseas as well, albeit on the BMW for one of the first races this season. But what an incredible ride there from the two Yamaha riders, Laverick and van Niekerk, to be dicing with Dave McFadden on one of the lone BMWs, as McFadden tries on the inside. Laverick can't make it stick. So not where we're used to seeing the likes of David McFadden, but still getting used to that BMW. Look at this, Khumalo now ahead of Morne Geldenhuys. So he's made the move on the Suzuki rider. So up into, what is that, 6th position now for Themba Khumalo.
Make that 5th, because he's got past Geldenhuys. So that's a top 5 finish here for the Chief.
Go.
And it's not a bad option to get Geldenhuys between himself and Brent Herron charging so hard. Herron putting in his best lap time, and he's just done another personal best of a 53.9. So he's not holding back, but he has got some traffic now to deal with in the form of the Uncle Andy Suzuki rider, Morne Geldenhuys.
He should be able to get in the slipstream of that Suzuki and get past, but we've seen it so far. Brent Herron's Yamaha, definitely not the fastest bike out there, because definitely got the pace to be ahead of these two riders, but just can't find the move, because as soon as he gets to the back straight, he loses about 6 or 7 bike lengths to the two guys ahead of him. So here we go. Morne Geldenhuys still not giving this up though. He's still right on the tailpipe of that Yamaha of Themba Khumalo. As they're going to come on the back straight now, and you'll see that M-Tech Nashua bike of Themba Khumalo will just leap away from the two bikes behind it. Brent Herron's in the slipstream of the Suzuki. Will he pull out and go on the brakes? Yes, he does. So another position there for Brent Herron, but look how much time Themba Khumalo pulled down that back straight.
I can tell you something, Brent Herron battled to do that with me on my 750 Suzuki at the endurance race at the Odin Power Sport 12 hour. He wasn't able to get past that easily, but he made Morne Geldenhuys have to work hard for his money. But he's through. That's more important than anything else. Having a look down the field as they cross the line as well, picking up on action through, of course, our regional championship. It's Michael White, Greg Geldenhuys, and Brandon Good, who are 1, 2, and 3 right now. But more importantly, with the demise of Lance Isaacs, and not even the start of Lance Isaacs, Hendrik de Bruyn now leads out in the Masters. Damien Purificati is 2nd, and Johnny Cricker is 3rd.
Yeah, that's an incredible. Write it down. We've got to write it down. That looks like, I'm trying to see it, so definitely a Yamaha. And there's 2 bikes. It's Ricky Leweer, maybe. There's 2 bikes there.
Well, the rider, that's Seller's bike. Same place as Seller went down.
Yeah, that's Seller's bike.
Same place that Seller went down. Maybe we can try and get another shot of that just to pick up on the rider's number. It did look like Ricky Leweer. Very good possibility of that, but we'll get confirmation as soon as we see the rider walking away. He's okay.
Carrick Flock has dumped down the order, but I don't think it was bike number 64, Carrick Flock. I think that was earlier on that we lost Carrick Flock. So
he's in the pit though.
Yeah, so in the pits. We're trying to see the rider down. We can't see it at the moment. Herron has closed down on Themba Khumalo. So Herron's definitely got the extra pace here, but Khumalo, a great job. It's not easy to fend off the likes of Brent Herron. Won races at national level. Podium last time out at Desi Raceway. So an incredible job this is from Themba Khumalo. But can Brent Herron find a way through? I think it's only a matter of time, but if Khumalo keeps doing what he's doing, I can't see a way past for Brent Herron.
The squirt on the N4 is just what's keeping him ahead right now. He's just able to get away, and Brent Herron trying to stay as close to him as possible, but remember there'll be no overtaking as they come in here. That's where the rider was down. Should have some yellow flags on the left-hand side now, and onto the straight they go. Khumalo going to try and push away. Green flag still waving at the top end, and there you go. Just the difference in pace between an M-Tech prepared bike and, well,
a privately prepared bike.
Yeah, he's trying hard, is Brent Herron. He's really having to work double time.
Khumalo a little bit wide, but manages to pull it back, still ahead. Who is that? Is it Dylan Gray? No.
I think it is Dylan Gray.
It is Dylan Gray on
Dylan
the
Gray
Yamaha.
That's down there.
So
Dylan Gray that's gone down there, unfortunately, and he's now out of it. In fact, he's fallen right off the pace. Yeah, definitely confirmation of that one.
As has David McFadden. So David McFadden also dropping down the leaderboard at the moment. So problems there for the Cape Town rider on the BMW. So we're losing a couple of big names here in this race already. Gareth Laverick and Ivan van Niekerk have come across the line, but no David McFadden with them. So we'll have to wait and see what's happened there. But definitely the battle on track at the moment. At the
front come on, and a big mission.
Big mission.
Up the saddle there. Here comes Herron. Herron's going to capitalize. He goes through.
That was
Herron,
a huge.
That was a big moment there. He climbed out of the saddle. He was on top of the motorcycle and very lucky to survive that one. Morna Geldenhuys realizes that there's a possibility he could squeeze through now, as you've got a slightly ruffled tail feathers there on that MTech Yamaha, but you can see it's starting to slip and slide. It's that time of the race. We've got 3.5 laps to go of the 12, and Kamala going to try and come back at him. He's not worried at all. He's gone right back at him. That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
the Chief is in the house, and he goes straight back at Brent Herron. So the Black Knight,
Herron just sticks
man,
it.
it's brilliant stuff here. This is amazing stuff out of Brent Herron and Temba Kamala. Bang for your buck, you can't ask for better than this. And the Suzuki rider, Morna Geldenhuys, sitting comfortably going, okay, you do what you need to do. I'll wait for you. It's
I'm
not a
waiting,
problem.
yeah. I don't want to put my brand new, beautiful Suzuki MotoGP livery down. I'll just wait for you guys to sort yourselves out and I'll pounce. But yeah, we're going to come to the back straight now. So Kamala, if he can just stay on the tailpipes of Brent Herron, it's a couple of bike lengths at the moment, but he'll easily be able to slipstream and get past the Brent Herron on the R1, because Temba Kamala's R1 definitely has a turn of pace. Here we go. Down the back straight now. Here we go. Kamala, he's not quite close enough in the slipstream, but you can see how much time he makes. He's going to try and go on the inside.
No, he's not close enough yet. Maybe one more lap.
He's trying to get it stopped,
on the brakes. Oh, he gets in there just in time to make the right-hander through the diode chicane. And now up onto the main straightaway again. He'll wait a lap.
Yeah.
Let's give it a lap and see what happens. You can see pushing hard there. Incredible stuff there between those two riders. Chopping and changing between these two very quick Yamahas. Yeah, you can see, look at that. Oh.
Look at the front end of Temba Kamala.
Just all over the place.
It's like bottomed out. The rear wheel is skipping all over the place, and he's got the confidence to pitch it in. So what a season it has been so far for Temba Kamala. He really has gelled, not only with the Yamaha R1, but with the team. And Ricky Moraes has instilled a huge amount of confidence into the rider, still getting it sideways, where he just had the big moment the lap before. So a different Temba Kamala here we're seeing this weekend.
Fired up and probably looking to re-sign contracts. That's more important right now.
It's contract time.
It is that time. Let's have a great final finish to the season and re-sign with the MTech team, because I'm sure they're going to be looking for a couple of riders. With the Westby team signing up Matthew Scholz and him taking the National Championship plate along with him, there's definitely going to be another seat available, and I'm sure that Temba and the team have gelled so well this season. Why would they not keep him on if he's going to have this kind of pace? At the end of 2016, in his first time of asking on 1,000, what is he going to do next year? Will he be a front runner? Yes, indeed. He will certainly be a front runner.
You can see Brent Herron just through the infield there now is able to pull a little bit of a gap over Temba Kamala. So it's pulling a little bit of a gap there, and yeah, definitely I don't think Kamala will be close enough to mount a serious challenge down the back straight, but nonetheless an incredible ride from Temba Kamala. Good championship points for Brent Herron. Started on the third row of the grid, didn't have the best time in qualifying, had spark plug cap issues on that Yamaha R1, and so pretty much picking up damage limitations here. As here we go, man, we've almost forgotten about our soon to be crowned 2016 Super GP champion. He's got 2 more laps, and Matty Scholz will be picking up his first SA title. Crazy to think that this talented rider has taken so long to pick up a title, but he's found a team that he loves in the Ricky Moraes MTech Nashua team, and this year really has been the man to beat. Has piled the pressure on Clint Seller, who at a couple of times this season and even today has buckled under the pressure, but we know Seller will be back. Seller's not a 4-time SA champion in a row for nothing. Seller will be back next year to try and pick up that #1 plate again, and whether Matty Scholz will be back or not, we're going to have to wait and see, because we know he's going over to America to race and possibly take that #1 plate with him.
Michael White in second place, Greg Hildenace in third. We haven't really seen a lot of them, but they are equidistant apart from the leader. This is the battle we're concentrating on, because it's been such a great battle between two very, very good Yamaha-mounted riders. Right now, Brent Herron being closed in again by Temba Kamala. Temba Kamala is itching for that top 5.
Yeah.
He knows that the mistake he made where he came out of the saddle cost him dearly. He wasn't quite ruffled by it, though, because by the time they got to the short straight and the end of the short straight, he still had a go at Brent Herron. Couldn't quite get it to stop, and I think that's what he's battling with right now, is the ability to slow the bike down and make the turns. As the riders come through there, we can see Etienne Nelson, one of our top Super Masters riders, also making his way across the line. And the big man there from K-Back Engineering doing a super job. His arch rival's not quite with him at this stage. He normally runs up there with Evert Storfberg. Storfberg just behind him. They're all trying to close in on the back end. Of course, Johnny Kricher and Damien Purificati and Hendrik de Bruin fighting for honours in the Super Masters with the demise of Lance Isaacs.
Yeah, so Michael White, we're going to have to do the math as well now with Clint Seller out of the race. Michael White in second position. That could potentially be second in the championship for Michael White. So Mikey White, Magic Mike as he's known, could be jumping up in this championship but it's all about Matty Scholz out front. Brent Herron will be looking to pick up some more championship points on the back of a podium finish last time out at Desi Raceway. But with the last lap, Matty Scholz must be looking at that board and thinking, I've got one more lap to be crowned champion. I know Ricky Moraes has been wanting this for a long time now, having picked up many titles in SA, but he has wanted for so long now to pick up one for Yamaha and for the Nashua and of course the MTech Racing team. Here he is, Matty Scholz, with the bright yellow wheels in homage of potentially picking up the championship. What a season it has been for Matty Scholz. He's broke lap records going the other way around at this track, and then Clint Seller broke that lap record back. But everywhere we've gone this season, Matty Scholz has been the man to beat, and Clint Seller has betted him on a couple of occasions. But Matty Scholz has consistently made the mistake last time out at Red Star, where he ran wide in this turn and went back to 12th position. But other than that, one or two little mistakes here and there, but been so consistent on that bike.
I can wax lyrical about how he's gone on the consistency roll all season long, and that's what's going to win him this championship. An incredible effort here from him. He's been back and forth as well with some international duties with the Westby team, who have now picked him up for an official ride next year in the AMA. So just brilliant stuff out of this young man. And really, I think it's been a long time of asking. The Umhlanga Rocket eventually is going to take an SA #1 title. The plate is going to be his. He's going to leave the shores and go on to international duties knowing that he's taken a title. And that's exactly what most of these riders and a lot of the youngsters should be thinking about. If you want to go and do international duties, rather sort yourselves out locally and at home first before you go. One final big look over the shoulder. He's got a massive 5.5 second lead over Michael White.
There we go.
And into the final turn they come. Diode chicane. I know you're quite happy about this one, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are happy about this one. He's an incredible young man, and congratulations go out to the MTech Racing Yamaha team. SA #1, Matthew Scholz has done it. He wins at Red Star Raceway. It came down to the second last race of the season, and he's taken the SA #1 title. South African Superbike and Super GP champion Matthew Scholz for 2016. Magic Michael White, if I'm correct, is going to move up to second place in the championship. It might still be a couple of points between him and Seller, but the way that Seller went down, I think it's highly unlikely we're going to see Seller back on a bike. So Michael White could potentially take second place in this championship. Greg Hildenace, though, has taken third place on the day and on the racetrack, and he will come through for a very, very good podium finish there on the Creepy Crawley and Transport.co.za Kawasaki, prepped by, of course, Noddy Van G. Gareth Laverick, a good ride from him a bit further back there. And so got to say hats off again to Brent Herron and to Temba Kamala for one of the best dices we've seen in Super GPs between two Yamaha riders. In the Masters, it's all about Hendrik de Bruin, Damien Perifacati, and Johnny Cricker. I'm going to leave Rob with the highlights as I head down to the podium.
What an incredible race #1 it was. It was all about the pole position, man, though. Matthew Scholz and Clint Seller in second. We had the Dio Ranger out on track, Dio.dv, ready to show us this action. And it was Matty Scholz getting a good start, whole shot. But look at Temba Kamala coming through the field a little bit behind him. Greg Caldenace put it in third place with Michael White trying to go around the outside into turn 1 because he knew he did not want to let those leaders go too hard. This was the big moment of the race, though. Seller seeing a gap that no one else saw, running right into the back of Matthew Scholz and crashing out big time, knocking his head, and unfortunately I don't know if we'll be seeing him in race #2. Michael White doing everything he can to get past Greg Caldenace and came oh so close to the Kawasaki rider there going into the infield. This was the race and the battle on track, though. Temba Kumalo, Brent Herron and AJ Fenter. Morne Caldenace on the Suzuki just ahead of them. What an incredible ride it was from the chief, Temba Kumalo. Another battle on track, David McFadden trying to go on the inside of Hygienic Yamaha Racing's Gareth Laverick there with Ivan van der Kak, another Yamaha rider. A big crash there further down the field for Dylan Gray, the man from KZN on his Yamaha machine, plants it there with the Neolife Yamaha of Clint Seller. But it was all about Matty Scholz on the bright yellow bike out front. And his teammate, Temba Kumalo, with a massive moment there coming out of turn 3. Brent Herron pounced on that moment and put it on the inside and managed to make the move. Temba Kumalo fought back and Brent Herron fought straight back. It was literally arm wrestling from the two Yamaha riders. But it was all about Matty Scholz came across the line with his ETR Nashua Yamaha team on the pit wall celebrating their 2016 Super GP title. The #1 plate there for that man. And it's great to see there Clint Seller coming back into pits on the back of one of the Yamahas. So great to see Clint Seller still okay there and not too seriously hurt, but let's hope we will see him out in race #2. Head your way down to the back of the pits to see Greg Maloney with our top 3 riders, and just to all that there will be a lunch break now on, and after the lunch break we will continue with more racing action from the final round of the Diode Super GP Champions Trophy.
Ladies and gents, we can now officially crown our SuperGP Champions Trophy champion for 2016, but we're going to get him up there at the final stage. First and foremost, up on the podium, let's get third place in the Creepy Crawly Transport Toyota today Kawasaki Double G, Greg Kildenace. Second place after a magnificent ride and a great season, and it'll put him at about 5 points ahead of Clint now for second place in this championship. Let's hear it for, behind. For second place, Consortium Shipping's Magic, Mike White. Fun and games. But ladies and gents, it gives me great pleasure to welcome this man onto the podium. He's worked hard all season long. It's been a tough season. It got even tougher in the first lap of asking, but your new 2016 national champion in Super GP, it's the Umhlanga Rocket, Matthew Scholz. All right, third place is going to be handed out by Mr. Dick Shuttle from Motorsport South Africa. He goes to give that to Greg Kildenace. Quinton from Bridgewater Logistics will hand out second place to Magic Michael White. Thanks, Quint. And the big boss man from Motorsport South Africa, Adrian Scholz, will hand out to Matthew Scholz. Let's make some noise there, ladies and gents. Come on. There it is, done and dusted. Let's have a quick chat to these riders before we get our masters up there. Come on down, Double G. Greg, it looks like at the end there, just running out of brakes, running out of ability to get the tires on the ground because it was so hot out there, bud.
Yeah, for sure. We started the race and, yeah, Clinton made a bit of a mistake. So, yeah, Matthew shut off a little bit. And, yeah, I tried to go with him. But, yeah, I started struggling a little bit with brake fade. Yeah, we must just work on it and try to be closer. You know, we want to fight for the win. But, yeah, and lucky this one.
You still got one more chance to do that, and I'm sure that you're dying to get the Kawasaki onto the top step of the podium. You and Noddy have got some special plans. I'm sure they'll get sorted out for race 2.
Yeah, let's hope so. Thanks to my team for being here and getting me here. Let's try and make it better.
No doubt about that. Magic Michael White, I know you snuck away there, but you're going to come in here behind us. I won't get in the way of the photo opportunities and photobomb Matthew Scholz, but Mike, an incredible effort out there from you as well. It took you a while to sort of chop and change and find your way through. Greg gave you a very good run for your money, though.
Yeah, we battled a little bit yesterday just with grip, just because of the heat. I think it's like 500 degrees out there. It feels like 2 million when I'm in the suit. So, yeah, we battled a bit. I thought Greg would keep me there, so there was no need to do anything stupid. And then the incident happened, and I saw Matthew started getting away. So I decided, okay, let's try and see. Maybe we can catch. If not, we can secure second, and luckily it worked out. I just want to say thanks to all sponsors, Consortium Shipping, Aztec, Eric Cannon, Race, Tech Exhaust, everyone that helped me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Still got a chance of a top step at the podium, and let's see if we can go at it. Hopefully going to be looking to consolidate second place, though.
Yeah, the next race is going to be close. I just have to beat Seller, and I'll get second in the championship. Came in hoping to get a top 5 if we were lucky, and now we're trying to go for the championships. I'm quite excited, and let's see.
Certainly bodes well for 2017. Good luck for the next one. We'll see you later on, hopefully. All right, champ, in you come. Wowee. This has been a long time of asking, but certainly something that I think is not going to kick in until maybe much later this week.
Yeah, you know, I've been riding bikes since I was about 7, 8, and I've never managed to actually win the SA Championship throughout any class that I've been in. You know, last year we were pretty close to being on the top step for the championship, but just we got pipped. And you know, this year has had its ups, had its downs, but we've ended up on the top step, which I cannot be happier with. Can I thank my family, friends, sponsors, the M-Tech boys. You guys have given me the best bike all season long. To my mom and dad, thank you so much for all the gazillions that they've put in for me riding. You guys have made everything possible for me. Now I can head to the States in 2017 and represent the country. And you know, just a big shout out to the sponsors here and the fans. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. And you know, thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
It's not only fans here, buddy. We're going worldwide because we're on Facebook right now and going live. And, of course, I know your team have already been commenting about the fact that you're out there, that you're going to be fighting hard for them next season. It just shows you what DO SuperGP's done for motorcycle racing in this country.
Yeah, you know, I think that I joined the SuperGP Championship in 2014, and it's been a huge step forward for me. All the riders here are brilliant. You know, Stevens won the Moto2 European Brad won the World Championship. We have guys in the British Superbikes. I'm going to the States. Sheridan's been there. Cameron Peterson's been there. All of them came from this championship, you know. So brilliant work, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, dude, what's the plan now for the final one? Are you going to go out with the swan song and take that last blood, or are you going to just hang tight and maybe give the guys a bit of fun and games?
We're here to win.
Yeah, I like to hear that. That's what it's all about. It's winning ways, as always, with Matthew Scholz, Mhlanga Rocket. We've got a slight lunch break. Join us after the lunch break as we head in. But first and foremost, we're going to bring you the Masters. In third place in the Masters. Oh, this has been a long time of asking, folks. Let's get him up there. It's fighting hard, Johnny Cricker. Ultimate fitness, and that's what he's got. Second place in the Masters, Damien Purificati. Hang tight, boys. I just want to move this out of the way for a second. We'll get it back there now. And then finally on the top step for the first time in the Masters. I know I spoke to him this morning. He didn't think it was going to happen, but congratulations, Hendrik de Bruin. Tim Cook's going to hand out third place to Johnny Cricker. Stephen Watson is going to hand out second place to Damien Purificati. And from Bridgewater Logistics, Teresa will hand out first place to Hendrik de Bruin. Congratulations, guys. Make some noise for your Supermasters. Come on down here. This is a man I've been longing to talk to for a while, bud. It's been a while we had you onto a national championship podium, but you've worked hard at it. You've got the Ultimate Fitness Gym, of course, and everybody's been training with you, even the Oak in second. You're going to have a chat about that, eh? That's how it works.
No, Greg, last race this season, grateful to be here. Thanks to Argenica, AJ, and Korika and them from Yamaha for helping with the setup. Been battling with that bike the whole year, but it seems now the last race it's all come together. So thanks a lot. Thanks to Gas for a good season. Hopefully next year we start off on a good note.
This is the way to end a great season. Hopefully another one and one step higher in the next one.
Hope so.
Awesome stuff, Johnny. Well done, buddy. All right, where did Damien disappear to? Looks like he's ran off there. So let's get to the man who took the top step anyway. Yeah. He's also got the biggest fan club here, so we'll make some noise for him. Dude, when I spoke to you this morning, you were like, yeah, I'm going to try my best, and, you know, it all goes according to plan. But unfortunately, it's Lance Isaacs who's lost out there with the potential of going every single race victory of the season. The bad luck turned on the very final time, and it's gone your way.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Lance, but I'm happy to take it. I always struggle at Red Star, so I'm very thankful and very grateful for this. Before this weekend, there was 16 points difference between me and third place in the overall championship, so I had to work hard. And yeah, I hope I can pull things together for the next race and take that overall third for the year.
Dude, it's going to bring you up to, what is it, 9 points in it now. So another win will certainly well for it. Hopefully you can do the same thing. I'm not saying anything against Lance. I know the team's going to be working hard to get that bike sorted. So I might have your work cut out for you.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm here to work for it. So yeah, I'm happy.
Good job, buddy. Well done. Congratulations. Welcome back to Red Star Raceway. It's the final round of the DO SuperGP Champions Trophy. We have had one of the most epic race days here at this racetrack in a long while.
Check the
little moustaches coming from Matthew Scholz, our new champion. I love it.
That looks ugly as it is, and then they put a moustache on him.
Yeah, no, say no more, hey.
Sheldon with a moustache.
With a moustache.
Sheldon, take that moustache off, please, my brother.
You're looking good, bro.
You're ugly as it is.
Rocking and rolling. It is Movember, hey? And it's only in a couple of days' time. Yeah, what are we on, 28, 29 today? In fact, it's Tuesday. Tuesday becomes Movember. Oh, Michael White. Race face is on, Michael White. Ooh. I wonder if we can see Michael White, eh? No Clincilla.
No Clincilla. I like those championship shirts. I wish I got one.
Yeah, it'd be quite nice, eh?
Ricky Moraes, you beauty. You finally grown some facial hair. Ricky Moraes.
It's taken him a while, hey?
Got more facial hair than Sheridan has on his whole head. Has ever had on his whole head.
Even the Brody Babe cracked the Movember. That's quite lekker, hey?
Jeez, luck. No, that's an awesome effort there. If you don't know what they're talking about, Matthew Scholz has, for some reason, grown a little moustache, and I think it's his exploits over in America.
Little
So,
gringo.
so they're just trying to all fit in that Yamaha MTech Nashua team there. So doing a great job for our newly crowned champion. As we've touched on, what an incredible season it's been for that team. What a roller coaster season it's been for that team. No Clincella in second. Third is Michael White. Fourth, Greg Caldenace came close again to the podium. Carrick Flock, problems in race number 1 on his new Yamaha. So watch out for him. And there's your newly crowned champion. He's seeing all the moustaches for the first time. Look at that. There we go.
That's so good. I mean, the hard work has been
Even
done.
the girlfriend's got one.
Exactly. I'm saying the Bolly Babe looking fantastic with a little moustache going on there.
Okay, Matthew, stop joking. Go win.
Yeah, just go and have a jaw now. The hard work's been done. The championship's been sorted out. Now it's time to have some fun. Now, looking through the field, we see Michael White there. No Clincella, as you said, on the front row. Michael White in third.
Consortium Shipping there, the boss from Consortium Shipping. Great to see some of the sponsors out here, and a big thank you to them for putting money into the sport that we love so much.
And then it's Creepy Crawley, Transport.co.za, Kawasaki of Greg Kildenase. Move along to the Diamond Core Drilling Yamaha, this time, of Garrick Flock. That I'd like to see. Lance Isaacs racing back on the track. Hopefully that bike's sorted out. I know that Hendrik de Bruin, Damon Purificati, and Johnny Cricker wouldn't be too happy to see that, but needless to say, it is Lance Isaacs, Sir Lancelot, who's back on. And Gennaro Bonifati. Yo, DJ Bonaro Wiki. Oh man, he's just come straight from H2O Octopia, and Bonifati's in the house.
And trying to do Lance Isaac's helmet up, so good effort
You
there.
see, he was on the 1s and 2s there. Wasn't quite sure he had to go 1 or 2 there. Right.
We're missing a rider in
We are
between
missing.
there. I'm not sure who that is. There's Brandon Good there.
Is it not?
And then,
No, there's a Suzuki in the background.
There's Brent Tarrant. There's a Suzuki. Where's Temba Kumalo? Is further back there.
Further
There's
back.
Temba
Temba's
Kumalo.
there.
McFadden's there. So who are we missing from there? We're missing another rider there as well.
Yeah, 2 rows of riders missing in the middle there, in the mid-pack.
I can't think
So
who
row
that would
3
be.
and row 4, we're missing 2 riders there. Having a look to just think through the field of riders as they come through and complete this.
Who would that be? I've no idea.
Anyway, not a major. We'll find out as we get going, and we'll soon pick up as to which. Alan John Fenter's one. That's one.
AJ Fenter on the
Alan John
Kawasaki.
Fenter will be one on the Kawasaki because that overheated, unfortunately, in the high team. So he wasn't going to chance the bike breaking and blowing a motor.
And
of course,
hurting himself for
more
Macau.
importantly, don't hurt yourself for Macau. Macau Grand Prix, he leaves, I think, on Monday night to head to the island of Macau and go and participate in that. Absolutely amazing. Now, he told me last weekend that they've cut the race from 12 to 8 laps. Now, you think about 8 laps around here is, what, 4.2 Ks, so that's about 36 Ks in total. Okay.
1 lap there.
8 laps. No, it's like 1 lap. It's like nearly 30 Ks.
No, if you've never watched Macau GP before, do yourself a favor, Google Macau GP. You are literally racing in the narrowest streets with buildings and
It's riding through Joburg and Bromfontein.
at flat out. Exactly.
flat out
It is
pace.
scary.
Yeah.
You think Isle of Man's scary?
No.
Oh, man.
I have to say, I take my hat off to him for doing both. I mean, he's got a win in the classic Manx Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And he's also been one of the top riders in the electric category.
Yeah.
Which is a new thing coming through. And, of course, possibilities of even them coming here. You know, the way things are going right now with Formula One and, of course, Formula E. I'm sure at some point there must be some kind of road racing version of the electric bikes coming to play. And look at the straight rhythm from Red Bull, dude. Red Bull had an electric bike in one of the top contenders in the straight rhythm. So they certainly know what to do when they're making these electric bikes work and getting to grips with things, as Gary van der Berg is bringing along some interesting news.
Okay,
and I'm
listen
sure
to
you're going to jump into this one.
So Gary van der Berg, the Hygienica Yamaha team manager, has just told me that AJ Fenter is going out on Clincella's Yamaha R1 bike and will
Wow.
be starting at the back of the grid. So there we go.
How's that for a
Hashtag
turnaround?
from last to first, AJ
There we
Fenter.
go, yeah. Listen, I can tell you something. If anybody can ride that bike and make it work, AJ will certainly know what to do.
So that's awesome.
I'm so
from
glad they
the
brought us
Brad
that kind of
Anastas.
news. Thanks
Yeah,
very much, Brad Anastas.
Yeah, it's awesome from Anastas to let them use their bike. Thanks to Gary van der Berg and the Hygienica Yamaha team for coming and giving us that info.
So that is now Yamaha powered by Neolife and Hygienica.
yeah.
Okay, that's good stuff. So
Yeah, well,
AJ Fenter.
You need to mix water
bike
with the Neolife stuff.
39 at the back. Yes, indeed, exactly. So we'll get the two together and it'll work. Hopefully well for AJ Fenter. Dude, I know Steve's here with his truck on, and he's really lost the truck, so we could get a second loss here. What are the chances of us getting a Kawasaki at the top of the podium for this last race?
With the Yamahas out there, with Matty Scholz now wanting to go out there, and I'm sure he wants to go out there with his Westby team in America, I just can't see it happening. the Kawasaki around the Red Star, the 4-cylinder bikes, the natural 4-cylinder bike Screamers, do battle, especially mid-race distance. They don't hold the tires as well as the Yamahas do. So Matty Scholz and Michael White will definitely be the favorites again. It's whether or not Gelderhuys can hold off the likes of Herron, Carrick Flock on the Yamahas, even Temba Kamala. You've got to throw his name in there for the podium now. But I think it'll be a safe top 3 for those 3. The battle, again, as we saw in race number 1, is going to be from 4th down to about 8th or 9th position.
Oh, we're about to get going now as they all come to take up the decisions. You can see Alan John Venter right in the back there. The South African flag, Arai helmet. It's going to be flying high in the Macau Grand Prix in the very near future. All lime green leathers from behind. Keep an eye as the lights are about to go out. Click those gearboxes. Here we go. It's the final race of the season. It's a great start from Scholz. It looks like he might get the whole shot. Michael White going to go alongside him and go into second place with Greg Gelderhuys tucked in for third. Brandon Good holds up the rest of the field. It's Brent Herron on his tail. And there's Temba Kamala going side by side there with, I think, Lance Isaacs. Lance Isaacs been betted by Temba Kamala as they went into turn 2. Kamala, Isaacs. In fact, it's Isaacs Kamala. He just returns the favor coming on the inside. On their tail is Morné Gelderhuys, first of the Suzukis. And then the second BMW there is McFlash. McFlash 2 bikes back and on Temba's tail. He's got through on Morné Gelderhuys as we see a maneuver here from the 6-4 bike of Garrick Flock to try and get through on Brent Herron.
Much better start from Brent Herron. So he's right on the tailpiece now of Brandon Good. The top 3 that we pretty much expected already starting to pull away and settle themselves down into a rhythm. So I think those 3 at the front will be unchanged for the rest of the race. But this battle from 4th down to about 10th place. Look at McFadden. He's done in about 10th or 11th at the moment. Never count him out. Great to see Lance Isaacs back on his LIR Racing BMW. So that's going to be the battle to watch out for on track. At the moment, Brandon Good holding down 4th position. But Brent Herron, we know what Brent Herron can do. When he gets a good start, he can run at the front of the field, as he did at Desi, picking up the podium. But Carrick Flock had issues in race number 1. First time out on that Yamaha R1 built by Ricky Moraes. So he knows he's got a really good package underneath him. Can he put his name in for a good result? He really needs one this season because we know the pace that Carrick Flock's got just hasn't shown it this year so far.
All right, so your first 6 motorcycles on track, and 5 of them are Yamahas. You've got a Kawasaki in the mid of those, and at the back of them is the first BMW. Then coming onto that back straight is Temba Kamala trying to close down on Lance Isaacs. Behind him is the first Suzuki. That is Morné Gelderhuys, and the only Suzuki on track. There you can see him high flying, trying to close down on the back end of McFlash. David McFadden stepping up from Cape Town, coming to play in the Nationals, and now really just finding it a bit more difficult to ride than, of course, that super fast Suzuki he's got down in Cape Town. He's been on the BMW now for the last 4 outings, and somebody pulling in the pit lane, I think, by the looks of things.
Carrick Flock.
Flock in the pit lane. Have a look and see as he comes past us. Yes, definitely Garrick Flock pulling in the pit lane. So the Yamaha R1 that he's on, unfortunately not firing like he'd like it to. And now we see the battle between Brandon Good and Brent Herron starting to heat up. 71 versus 70. 77, I beg your pardon. So 77 and 71. This is the lead. It's Scholz from Michael White, Greg Gelderhuys. Equidistant between those 3. Then a little gap to those 2, and then back down to Lance Isaacs, Temba Kamala, David McFadden, and Morné Gelderhuys. Suzuki looking good on the back end there of McFlash's BMW. Behind them, if I'm not mistaken, was Ivan van Niekerk, and then Alan John Venter up to 11th place already and starting to just tip into the top 10 if he can find a way through there from the pressure. Write it down. That's Michael White by the looks of things. Go back.
Michael White looks like, yep, Michael White has crashed out, trying to get that R1 started. I don't think we've seen Michael White crash this whole season. So going for second in the championship. I don't even know if he's got it wrapped up yet.
Well, he's got to finish the race. If he finishes the race, he gets second. Because
in the points.
Clint Seller hasn't, well, there's enough to go down to probably about 9th place. If he stays in about the top 10, he'll be okay. But there was still 5 points in it coming in here. So he's sitting in second place, he would have been fine. Now down in probably about 10th or 11th place, it's not going to help him out. But we know that he's got some pace. He should still be able to come through and maybe just get into that top 10. Brent Herron's gone down as well. Oh, these riders, I think, are battling with the track conditions, Rob. We already heard from Pirelli, 64 degrees Celsius track temperatures. And maybe these guys just finding it a bit more difficult to get the traction down on these big bikes.
So that's promoted Brandon Good up into 3rd place. It really has stretched the field now a little bit, unfortunately. So the dice on track. So it's Scholz, Gelderhuys up into 2nd, Brandon Good into 3rd, and I think Lance Isaacs will now be in 4th position there. Temba Kamala in 5th, McFadden 6th, and Morné Gelderhuys in 7th. Now, let's potentially talk next year. Dave McFadden, like you said, runs a Suzuki down in Cape Town. Morné Gelderhuys behind him running the current Uncle Andy Suzuki. Potentially a team for next year on the new Suzuki bike. Let's hope there's a new Suzuki coming next year and a new Fireblade coming. So there's 2 potential bikes coming for next year.
There's no doubt about that. We're going to see some chopping and changing. And already when we were talking to the powers that be The Honda coming with a slipper clutch and everything available to it could be a potential race winner as well, particularly if it's as good as what we've seen already in the magazines and people talking about it worldwide. Hendrik de Bruin is riding
Ahead
the
of
socks
Gareth
off that, ahead of Gareth Laverick. Now, de Bruin, if I'm not mistaken, usually runs a Fireblade, and I'm just looking to see whether...
There's a Yamaha R1.
No, he's on the R1, sorry. He has changed up to the R1, but he was normally on a big 1000cc Fireblade.
Yeah, and Gareth Laverick, pole position man from Desi Raceway, remember. Not having the race weekend he would have wanted. He's normally a lot higher up the field. Is that AJ Fenter on the Clint-Seller R1? So great from the back of the grid up into 8th place. So enjoying the Neolife Yamaha, it looks like, backed by Hygienica Yamaha for this race.
Right, I'm just going to throw a few things out because we can now. This is this time of the season. It's the last race of the season. You've already mentioned the fact that we're going to have McFadden and Geldernaes joining up as a team. I know that Brad's probably looking for a second rider or possibly a third rider in the Neolife team. Is AJ Fenter possibly going to be touted for that move? Oh, we'll never know until we eventually see those press releases coming out. But certainly we can throw some contemplation.
Well, with the new Honda coming, I mean, Honda would want to run a factory team for next year. So there's 2 spots that we could potentially fill on the new Fireblade. The Suzuki, like I said, I think Morné Geldernaes has done enough to potentially get himself a ride on that new Suzuki bike.
Well, if he's going this well on that bike, there's a good possibility that we'll probably see one of the Hygienica boys buy that bike, and it'll become his race bike here while he keeps his other race bike in Macau. It's not a bad option to have the 2 machines either side of the world, so you don't have to keep transporting them back and forth. So a little bit of a little bird on my shoulder said there's a good possibility that that could be the case. Themba Khumalo fighting with David McFadden and Lance Isaacs.
Incredible.
Now, if you look at the current field, no one in the field has the experience that Lance Isaacs has.
No.
And Themba Khumalo, probably one of the least experienced riders, in his first outing this season on 1000cc, fighting with the most experienced rider we have in this country on superbikes.
And running in 5th place at the moment. We already saw him in race number 1 pick up his best result of the season. Look at Michael White. He's picked the bike up, a little bit battered and bruised, that Yamaha Consortium shipping bike. He's up into 15th place now, just behind Etienne Nelson. So if he could pick up that top 10, or even, he could pick up a top 10, he could almost sew up that second in the championship.
I'd say he's still got a chance of getting into the top 10, possibly even up to 9th or 8th place with the knee slider hanging off and bits and pieces all over that bike, but it's still going. So more importantly is Mike White has got to just concentrate on getting into the top 10. Getting into that top 10 will secure him 2nd place in this championship and demote, unfortunately, the grounded Clint Seller, who's on the sideline watching all of this transpire and has got nothing to do and cannot do anything about it anymore.
Now he's watching AJ Fenter ride his bike out there, currently running. He's still in 8th place there, but I think he'll close down that gap on Morné Geldernaes as the race progresses, because we know that Suzuki unfortunately just doesn't hold its tires or the grip levels quite as well as the Yamaha machines, as well as this man out front now with the gold wheels on for race number 2, just to cement that number 1 plate. Greg Geldernaes keeping him honest though. If Matty Scholz makes one little mistake, the Kawasaki rider is there to pounce. And a little bit further back, Brandon Good looking for his first podium finish of the season on that Line-X Yamaha. There is AJ Fenter on the Hygienica / Neolife / Anasis Racing Yamaha
AJ
R1.
Fenter Racing Yamaha R1. Yeah, he's doing a good job. AJ doing a super job, and of course, remember, he'll be concentrating on the fact that it is a new bike. He doesn't want to throw it down the road. He'll just do the best he can on it and do everything he can. As Doran Leroux has a look in from the outside. What's up, Doz? He's here watching us from the sidelines. I'm sure he'd love to be on the bikes as well. Onto the braking markers, AJ closing on Morné Geldernaes, and I think we may see a change-up between Geldernaes and AJ. Just whether or not he's willing to risk it and go on the inside of that Suzuki rider. Morné's had a good weekend so far. He's found some serious pace. A bit further back there, we also see that is Johnny Krikker fighting hard, and the number 13 Hygienica Racing machine on the back end of Etienne Nelson, and fighting for Supermaster on us there. Looking at the Supermasters, Lance is leading it in 4th place overall on track. We've got Hendrik de Bruin in 2nd, and then 3rd place, as I see it, is Damon Purificati. So that's 4th and 5th place there that we've just seen going out of our shot there between Etienne Nelson and Johnny Krikker.
AJ Fenter now right on the tailpiece of Geldernaes as they come onto the short little back straighter into the 90-degree left-hander. So AJ Fenter on the R1. Yep, Geldernaes looks back. He sees AJ Fenter. Fenter's going on the inside on the brakes. Will he make it stick? Looks like he's going to make it. Yep, on the inside there. So another position there for AJ Fenter. Now it's all about closing down on that man ahead of him, Dave McFadden. Having a bit better race here in race number 2. Had issues in race number 1. Dropped all the way down the field. So AJ Fenter could potentially get as high as 6th place. I think Themba Khumalo doing a great job. He's a bit further up the field there in 5th place.
Oh, as they come out of the final turn onto that back straightaway now. Scholz running extremely wide. A little bit too wide
More
for my
tar,
liking
please.
at that time. Yeah, Jacques, can we get a little tar machine out there? Give us another 15 centimeters either side, please. It'll help us out. But as he goes down into this chicane, I was watching that maneuver from AJ Fenter. Now, unfortunately, at this stage of the race, you unfortunately had left the 12-hour. But I always say, if you get a chance, and you can come out to watch any of that endurance racing, not like you're missing out on action here. This is top quality stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to see something at night that is multiply mind-blowing, have a look at Alan John Fenter in light mode, or in dark mode, I should say. You've never seen anything like it. If the Isle of Man TT was run at night, Alan John Fenter would be a multiple champion. Because when he comes past you at night, it literally looks like you are looking for parking.
No, you know, it's incredible, and that's why you've got to get out here for the 24-hour at the end of the year to watch these bikes cruise around this racetrack at night with a bit of the lighting in the corners is really an incredible sight. Johnny Cricker, he's now got ahead of Etienne Nelson, who's got, is that Evert Stoffberg? Yeah, he's starting to make his way through the field.
Ooh.
Right on the inside there. Sticks it on the inside of Etienne Nelson. BMW battle on track here, and that was from a long way back there. Evert Stoffberg, if anyone knows how to pass around this track, it's Evert.
Evert Stoffberg from a long way back, like a Blaze Baker style pass there, going through on Etienne Nelson. Very good mates off track, those two. Big boys at it as well.
Yeah.
They really have, not the smallest riders in the world. And in fact, if you wanted to take up bodybuilding, Evert Stoffberg and both Etienne Nelson would probably be some of the top contenders in this country. But needless to say, they are fighting hard here on motorcycles of very even nature.
Yep.
And even going through the mid-pack here, nice to see some little battles. That's Hendrik de Bruin. And it looks like he might have just squeezed through there. I'm looking at Ricky Lee Weir.
Yeah,
Ricky Lee Weir, he's got ahead of.
He's dropped behind Laverick, so Laverick getting a move on now. He's ahead of that. And then that's a good battle. We got Hendrik de Bruin. We got Ricky Lee Weir, Damien Purificati right on their tail as well. So that's a good little dice. Michael White is obviously closing down on them after his off-track excursion. There he is right on the tail now of Damien Purificati. So Michael White, if
he's got to get those four riders.
He's got to get that, and then potentially could be second in the championship.
Yeah, just get into those four riders, get past them. He's going to try around the outside of Damien Purificati. Now, shouldn't be too much of an issue there. That is a new ZX10. It's not the old version, so it's got a slightly bigger squirt than, of course, the older version that AJ was on earlier.
Yeah.
But now to try and find a way through. These guys are in their own little battle. Squeezes through on Purificati. Now lines up Ricky Lee Weir. And Ricky Lee Weir will, I don't think it'll give too much of a hassle there to Michael White. Although, not take anything away from Ricky, he's got better and better this season. As they head down that N4 straightaway, watch for late braking from Michael White. He'll close in on Weir. And hopefully look for something going into
Is Weir going to stop it?
Oh, yeah, it goes extremely close to the back end of Hendrik de Bruin. So that's helped out Michael White. He might be able to do two bikes in one here, heading into turn one.
Yeah, it looks like he's lining that. But here we go. AJ Fenter now ahead of David McFadden. So Fenter just having a look now, up into 6th position. So he's definitely the man on the move. Gareth Laverick last lap output in his fastest time of the race, a 55.8. So Laverick starting to find a little bit of form. But AJ Fenter, the man on the move at the moment, running in the low 153. So good pace there from AJ Fenter, who literally climbed on that bike this race. So gave himself 2 or 3 laps to get comfortable and is now starting to steamroll through the field. Speaking about steamrolling through the field, Michael White now ahead of that battle and chasing down on Gareth Laverick.
So if he's got through on Hendrik de Bruin and Ricky Lee Weir, it means he's up into 11th place. He's got to find a way past his teammate. Maybe the team board comes out and tells Laverick to just ease up and give him a chance to get through. I don't know if that's going to happen because we're playing with the Yamaha team. I'm talking about more than anything, but highly unlikely because Laverick's fighting for his own championship here and had a great round down at Desi's Raceway. Yes, it was in the wet and he was very good in the wet. So that's definitely a potential rider we need to keep an eye on if there are any wet races for next year. But it's Michael White, he's closing in. Looking at the times that Michael White was able to do, he's in the 53.7s. Yeah, if you look at Gareth Laverick, he's in 55.8s.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time, and he's got enough time to do it because we still have 6 to go.
Looking further down the field, Johnny Cricker, Evert Stoffberg and Etienne Nelson have just put in their personal best times. So it just shows you, even the elder statesmen are showing that they've got the fitness and the mentality to run these long races here at Super GP and still improve their times further on in the race. But Michael White, bike 58, we saw him in 2nd place, go down early, trying to close down on Matty Scholz. He's managed to pick the bike up and he's now closing down on Gareth Laverick, the Hygienica Racing Yamaha R1 machine there. As we come into the closing stages of the race now, there's 5 laps remaining after this. And can Michael White get up into there? And we'll just have to do the maths and just work out if Michael White, if he does pick off Gareth Laverick, that'll be 10th place for Michael White. I'm just having a look. Yeah, it will be 10th place for Michael White. We have to just wait and see if that'll be enough to pick up 2nd place in the championship ahead of Clint Seller. as we look at Johnny Cricker, Evert Stoffberg, and Etienne Nelson doing a good job hanging on to the tailcoats there of Evert Stoffberg and Johnny Cricker, not letting them go at the moment. So this is a good battle there for what I think is second and maybe third in the Supermasters, or actually third place in the Supermasters. Lance Isaacs leads it out. He's running fourth on track. Hendrik de Bruin running in second there. So at the moment, Johnny Cricker holding down that third. Actually got Damien Purificati ahead of them, so they're running down in third.
Where he is right now is enough, Rob. I've just done the calculation now with the points 25, 20, 16, 13, 12 down to 10. And if he's in 11th place at 6 points, he needed 5.
Oh,
so
1
6
point.
points will take him, 1 point in it between him and Clinsella for the final
And remember, if
second place position of 2016.
If they had finished tie, Clinsella would have got it because he's got more race wins than Michael White. So it has been that close between those two riders. But what an incredible effort from Michael White. First season in Super GP on the consortium shipping Yamaha R1 machine. And to finish second in the championship really is an incredible effort there from the young rider from the East Rand. This is still a good battle going on. Ricky Leweer, and that's Hendrik de Bruin and Damien Purificati. So de Bruin and Purificati, they're dashing for second and third in the Masters.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've got Ricky Leweer just ahead of them. So can Purificati get ahead of bike number 95? And that's Hendrik de Bruin just ahead of him.
Yeah, it's a great little dice here, and of course it's been a dice all season long since Hendrik de Bruin has stepped in. Remember, he's also looking to just beat out Damien Purificati. If he beats Damien Purificati, even if he gets second place in this race, he will still maintain third overall in the championship. Purificati is going to take second overall, so he doesn't really have to fight that hard. And Michael White, of course, just ahead of these guys. So incredible dicing all the way through this field like we've seen all season long. And I can see Jimbo just walking in here. I want to give him the Motor Rider of the Day slip too, so he can go and get hold of that rider so we can get him onto the podium.
Rob Portman.
Oh, of course. How did you know?
Had to be me.
He's won it every single time this whole season. All right, so ladies and gents, we're coming to the very, very closing stages of an incredible season. Ricky Leweer still getting inside. Purificati up the inside for second. There you go. Well done, Damien. Up to second place for the Masters.
The soon-to-be father.
Now, this is kind of how the championship's going to end. Lance is going to win it. He's won every race but the last one, which we saw earlier on in the day, where we saw Hendrik de Bruin take the victory. Yep. Damien Purificati's gone one better and beaten Hendrik de Bruin this time, even though we've still got 4 laps to go. So really incredible stuff out of these guys right the way through the field.
Ricky Leweer still doing enough to hold off Purificati and Hendrik de Bruin. So this is a good little battle going all the way down to the wire for sure. And Ricky Leweer, one of the better rides we've seen from him this year on that BMW machine. Remember, running up on the 1000cc class for the first time this year. And remember, Ricky Leweer is the rider that we saw celebrating the World Championship with Brad Binder down at Aragon.
We've
got a yellow flag.
Right.
It's Temba Khumalo.
No!
Temba Khumalo out of 5th place.
Yeah, Khumalo down at the hairpin by the looks of things at the end of the big straight, yes.
Yeah.
End of the short straight, Khumalo's down there, maybe just pushing a little bit too hard to stay with AJ, because when AJ went past him, I think he went with him.
Yeah.
And maybe just couldn't hold the pace of AJ on the near-life Hygienica Racing Yamaha. That's a big pity. He was looking for a top 5 there, dude.
That would have been incredible.
Listen,
in
hats
this
off to
field
the kid
of
anyway.
riders.
Hats off to the kid anyway. Last outing in the first race of the day was his best finish ever on 1000cc. He's had an incredible season. MTech Racing, I'm sure, are going to hang on to him for next year.
Yeah.
And possibly give another ride to another well-deserved. And throwing it out there, could you ask for any better than maybe a Michael White to join that team?
Yeah, no.
Very good possibility of a super team there.
Yeah, there's a couple of riders that names could be thrown in the hat there. I mean, it is very much silly season, but question marks. We don't know where Clinsella is going next year. We don't know where Michael White's going next year. We know where Adolf Boshoff's potentially going onto the 1000s. So it's going to be an incredible season next year, and it's going to be interesting to see who goes where in next year. It's pretty much musical chairs at the moment. But when we do the final lines, where will this man be next year? Dave McFadden, will he be overseas? Will he be here? Let's hope he gets to get a good ride on a new Suzuki, a new Honda here in South Africa, and see him challenging at the front in the field once again, like we saw earlier on in the day. We've still got yellow flags down there for the Temba Khumalo crash, so obviously still trying to clear that issue up there.
There's Alan John Fenter just ahead of McFlash heading into the dog bone section, and I wonder how close Alan John is to Lance Isaacs. It wasn't too far off on the last point of asking.
He's almost a second faster.
He's a second faster, but he's also only 3 seconds behind. There you can see Isaacs. What's that? There's the flick of the dog bone, and AJ is catching. Alan John Fenter, 39, could beat 38 here. That Sir Lancelot bike is being closed down here by AJ, and AJ is not too far off the back end. The way that this kid can ride, I can tell you, Lance Isaacs' days are numbered, because I think the Yamaha, as you've said, and we've seen all season long, is certainly the better bike to be on this track. And of course, that's a race-winning motorcycle that he's on right there. Lance is worried. He's looking back. He knows AJ's coming. It should be a little bit of a dice right to the end. We know we've got some gaps in between the main contenders, but Scholz leads out, Gildenace in second, and Brandon Good, incredibly, is still there in third place, ahead of this little battle now, as we see AJ Venter closing in on his newly acquired Neo-Life Yamaha on the back end of Lance Isaacs Racing's BMW, and Lance Isaacs on board that mark.
And Michael White, after going down to about 17th or 18th place, is up into 8th position and could potentially get into 7th position. So Michael White doing an incredible job after putting that bike down for the first time. And like I said, AJ Venter is coming fast. He is now seriously closing that gap on Lance Isaacs. And AJ, when he's focused on something, he goes for it. And he knows this Red Star. How many bikes have we seen him ride around this Red Star racetrack this year? And fast. A CBR 1000 in the 4.8 and 8.
He started the season on the Suzuki.
Yeah, I started the season on the Suzuki on an R1 machine. I rode an old Kawasaki, rode a BMW at the 12-hour, which they won. Look at him, he's right on the tailpipe.
8 different motorcycles, and every single time he's been literally in contention for a win. He's closing in on Isaacs. I think it's done and dusted by the time they get to the end of the straight. No, he's not quite close enough yet. Definitely by the time they come out of the dog bone onto that back straight away. A little bit more grip, a little bit more grunt, and it'll be Lance Isaacs demoted down into 5th. And Alan John Venter from the back of the field on a brand new motorcycle he's never ridden before, up to 4th place.
I wonder if he's going to go park it in the Onassis pit or straight into the back of his bucket.
I think he's going straight onto the back of that Tata bucket. It's not as nice as your Ford Ranger, by the way.
No, my new Ford Ranger.
Your new Ford Ranger that Stephen Watson is going to be giving you by the end of this day.
And everything.
It's quite lack of that.
In Boxburg, I'm going to be the mayor of Boxburg.
You're going to be the king of Boxburg. Never mind the mayor. All right, so we still got a couple of laps to go here, folks. It's 1.5 laps to go. Here comes AJ.
Oh, and then he takes him out. There's no need to do that.
Very Clint Seller-esque on that bike, I have to say.
It's obviously the bike.
Yeah, I think it's the bike that's the problem, not the riders. Here comes AJ. Leader goes across the line now, just in our background with 1 to go, and Alan John Venter closing in on Isaacs also with 1 corner and 1 lap to go as they flick through the DO chicane.
Right, where is he going to do it now, AJ? He does definitely have the extra grip because he's able to close that gap down on Lance Isaacs, but he can't make the move like he did there. He's got to plan it a little bit better. Lance Isaacs wanted, like you said, the most seasoned campaigner out on the track, been racing nationals for about 24 years now. So he knows how to defend. He knows how to keep riders behind him. So AJ Venter, another seasoned campaigner, where can he make the move? He's clearly got the extra pace. Where can he do it though? Because the BMW's got huge horsepower advantage over the R1, but the R1's got the grip advantage.
A little factor thrown with these two riders. These are probably two of South Africa's riders that have had some very big names in motorcycle racing history as their teammates in their own careers. I mean, you look at the likes of Alan John Venter in BSB and in the Isle of Man TT and the Classic Grand Prix. He's had some really hot names as teammates with him. And of course, Carl Bomber Harris, the late great Carl Bomber Harris, was teammate to Alan John Venter. I throw in another name, 155, Ben Bostrom. That was Lance Isaacs' teammate in the NCR Ducati team when you were still on board, an Italian brand, brother.
Yeah, the 999 Ducatis with Lance Isaacs, and then he went racing overseas. So Lance Isaacs does have experience. AJ Venter, look how he closes in the infield here. This is where Lance Isaacs really is struggling now to turn that BMW. Edge grip on that rear Pirelli for the BMW is a big issue. You can see Isaacs cannot hold the line. AJ Venter can put that R1 wherever he wants it. So will he get the drive out here now and possibly try and put a move on, which he tried to do the lap before, couldn't make it stick, but he's running out of corners here. Here we go, AJ, no, he's made a bad move from there from AJ Venter. He kind of ruined that. He kind of went too wide and he made a lot of work now, and there's no ways. AJ Venter has unfortunately ruined that, but Matty Scholz, what a way to round out your championship winning season with another win. Greg Caldenace, another brilliant ride there in second, and Brandon Good, another motor rider of the day contender.
Yeah, we've already onto the podium there for Brandon Good, but I think just out of time for Brandon Good's podium there. But we've definitely got a hot contender for the motor rider of the day. There's no doubt about that. Isaacs hangs on to beat out Alan John Venter. It's 38 and 39 that come across the line in numerical order for the top 5. What a great dice. For the back here, we've still got some action on track. As you can see, Gareth Maverick and
Ivan from
the church having a super run. And that's also on a brand new R1.
Yep.
So he only climbed on that bike yesterday.
Yeah, from the Ducati.
So not a bad effort there, and that just bodes well for Ivan van Niekerk for 2017. Hopefully we're going to see him. He's all part and parcel of the RSA racing team. Yami doing a super job there, not only with McFlash, but also with Ivan van Niekerk. And in fact, if we look at the way things have gone, that is 2 of Yami's bikes in the top 10.
Yeah.
Great effort. Laverick comes through for 10th place on his tail. Ricky Liwia coming into the final chicane now will be in 11th, and on his tail is going to be 2nd place in the Masters. Damien Purificati, and 3rd place in the the Masters, Hendrik de Bruin. Super effort there from our SuperGP Championship contenders and our Super Masters. I'm going to head down to the podium. Rob's going to come join me there very shortly. We're going to do the SuperGP Champions Trophy podium. We're going to do the Super Masters Championship podium. And we're going to do the overall championship podium for SuperGP Champions Trophy for 2016. I'll see you at the podium real soon, buddy.
Yeah, make your way down to the back end of the pits here for the podium ceremony. Like Greg said, we're going to catch up with all our national champions for the year. We're going to catch up with our top 3 from this race in both the Super GP and the Super Masters category. So get your way to the back here. It's champagne showers time, and come celebrate with South Africa's best riders, and what a show they have put on, not only today, but through the whole season. We're going to take a look at some highlights now of race number 2 in the Super GP. What has been an incredible season and yet another incredible race here at Red Star Raceway. Bike number 95, that's Hendrik de Bruin picking up 3rd in the Super Masters there. Yeah, this was the start of the race. No Clint Matthew Skoltz getting the whole shot from pole position, and Michael White slotting himself into 2nd going into turn 1. But that's not where the action happened. It was 2 or 3 laps into the race, and the 2nd place man, Michael White, making the first mistake. Evan Stoffberg back down in this Masters, making the move there on Etienne Nelson. The 2 BMW riders going at it, hammer and tong. Damien Perficati making his move up into 2nd place in the Super Masters there, ahead of Hendrik de Bruin going into turn number 1. Timur Kumalo crashing out of a season's best 5th position, unfortunately at the tight left-hand hairpin. AJ Fenter from the back of the grid, closing in on Lance Isaacs for that 4th position, unfortunately just not making it stick, and the BMW riders rounding out the Supermaster win and 4th overall. But the day has been all about Matthew Skoltz, and indeed the season. Your new 2016 Super GP champion is Matthew Skoltz. Greg Caldenes picked up 2nd, and in 3rd place, a brilliant ride from the Linux Yamaha man, Brandon Good. Make your way down to the back end of the pits, and let's catch up with all our champions and our top 3 riders.
What a season of racing we've had here, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible stuff from our Super GP Champions Trophy contenders. It's the usual contenders that are here at the front end. Oh, yes, we are missing Evil Knievel, but of course he's had a great outing nonetheless, and has gone at it all season long to try and make sure that we've got some of the best racing in the world, never mind here in South Africa. Bikes coming in slowly but surely here. Some nice Movember starting early there with Matthew Skoltz and the whole team from MTech Racing. Ricky Moraes has got more facial hair on him than his son has got head hair. So looks like that's working well. All the tashes coming in for Movember, and also to give the little gringo there, the Umschlanger Rocket, his gringo look and feel. Hey, I like it. It's a gringo. It's really nice. I try, but that's Italian. That's not Mexican, but we'll get into that later. Still waiting for one rider to come and join us here as they come through slowly but surely. 1 and 2 in the podium ceremony here. And you can see, looking at the way that the Yamaha has worked, 100% right on what Rob Portman was saying. Have a look at these back tyres here on the Yamaha. Certainly not ripping up as much as what we see with the Kawasaki on the far side. So Rob Portman, spot on there, buddy. But here's a man who's made a welcome return to the podium after a long time off it, and I'm sure going to be the most fired up man here on this podium ceremony. What a way to end the season. It's been an up and down season for Brandon Good, but he is certainly well deserved to be up here on the podium, even if it is on the final step. All right, just give Brandon a chance to whip that Chewy helmet off quickly and get a Pirelli cap on him. And once we've got that all sorted, let's get him up on the podium. First man up there. Yes, it's gone from better to worse, and it's now gone back to good. Brandon Good back on top of the podium in 3rd spot. Let's hear it for him. Yeah, a big smile on that face, but I can see that one. 2nd place, it's Double G on the Creepy Crawly Transport.co.za Kawasaki. Let's hear it for Greg Caldenes. And what a way and a fitting way to finalize this championship and end it off for 2016. A double winner, the MTech Racing Nashua Yamaha team, your new champion, and making his way to the top step yet again, the Umschlanger Rocket. Let's hear it from Matthew Skoltz. All right, we're going to start with this podium ceremony slowly but surely. 3rd place in Super GP, Herbie number 53 from our logistics company. Is that going to be handed out by Herbs? No, he's getting 2nd. I'm trying to work out who's getting who here. Oh, there's a whole team here. Oh, the whole logistics team is taking. The truckers are in the house. Let's just say that, okay? They're here. Quinn's going to go. There you go. Up here for 3rd place to Brandon Good. Herbie's coming up to give out 2nd. Hold on, guys. Thanks for being here. And Raymond is going to hand out 1st place from Pirelli. and get those guys up there. All right, are we going to... Manufacturer. Needless to say, once again, it's going to be Nick from Yamaha to collect that. He's going to given the trophy by Stephen Watson from Gas Sports. So there's our manufacturer's representative. He's about a wet ride home and a sticky one, because that is your final podium, ladies and gentlemen, for SuperGP Champions Trophy. It's all yours, gents. We're about to get roosted otherwise. I can tell you. Don't go too hectic, okay? We still got another podium ceremony to go here. All right, well done. Well done. Let's have a quick chat. Brett, the only one we really have a chat to you. So, dude, what a tough season you've had, but this is certainly a good way to end it off, eh?
Yeah, you know, we've had quite a tough season trying to bounce back from being part of the best factory team in the country with MTech. Definitely more difficult to ride on your own, but you know, we've had a good year, learning year. Started the weekend off disastrous crash yesterday and had to rebuild the bike. A massive thank you to everyone who helped me with that. And yeah, and I'm happy. Started 7th in both races. Came back with 4th in race 1 and now 3rd in race 2.
Nothing wrong with that. And of course, maybe we're going to have a chat to Ricky. He's looking for a rider for next year.
Yeah, here's hoping, eh?
Well done and good job, buddy. Keep it up. Double G. Try and squeeze you in here quickly. What, the motor oil, if you want to drink that, you're more than welcome to. It'll get you slick, that's for sure. Dude, you tried hard. Unfortunately, whatever you changed didn't work, but needless to say, still a double podium on the final time of asking. It just bodes well for 2017, and hopefully we're going to see some factory backing with you guys.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we started the season off here at Red Star, and yeah, we got terrible results like 10th and DNF. You know, we've come a long way with our motorbike, and yeah, we're pushing really hard. You know, we want to be on the top spec. But yeah, at least we learned a lot this year, and we'll be back strong next year.
Dude, I've got to say, first and foremost, you were one of the riders that unfortunately didn't make it out at all last year. You came back a little bit worried about what was going to happen this year. You've seen the growth of SuperGP. We've gone live the whole day on Facebook. Things are looking up for 2017. It's great to have a 3-time champion back again. And I know that with Noddy and Dad's help, we're certainly going to have you back here for 2017.
Yeah, for sure. We're working on some deals, and yeah, we'll see if we can be here and try to get something together.
Looking forward to it. Well done, Double G. Awesome stuff, buddy. Mr. Scholz, if you wouldn't mind coming to join me just for the one more time in the final race of the day, just so we can get that interview done. He's making his way in here slowly but surely. But now being the champion, everybody stops him on the way, including Lance Isaacs, who's going to have his day now. Dude, next time you're getting sprayed, hey? Okay, there's a challenge. Dude, an incredible day's racing for you. Yes, unfortunately, some bad luck for your arch rival, but it has gone both ways. You've had some bad luck, he's had some bad luck. End of the season, though, a double victory, and heading off to some very, very good competition in the AMAs.
Yeah, like you said, both of us have had our ups and had some really, really huge downs, but you know, fortunately I managed to clinch the championship in the first heat. So the second heat was just more of a calm race for me. I didn't have to panic so much, but unfortunately Silla wasn't on the grid. I hope he heals up quickly. You know, I knew from the Friday's practice that we sort of had a really solid pace going, and kind of knew that if I kept my head down, that we'd be able to open up the gap, which we managed to do. And you know, well done to Greg, well done to Brandon, guys. Thank you to my team, family, and to my sponsors. I'm really looking forward to going to the States next year, and you know, I'm competing with the top boys there and showing them what the South African guys have.
Well, from all of us here at SuperGP, we wish you all the very best. We know you're still going to come up with another podium, but we'll catch you real soon. Great job, and congratulations once again on the championship.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers. Thanks.
All right, straight into the Masters, and third place in the Masters today. If I got it right, I chopped and changed so many times. If I'm not mistaken, it's Hendrik de Bruin. He went from the top step of the podium to the third step of the podium. So let's get him up there. Hendrik de Bruin, third place, with the full support of the back. Make some noise. Don't be scared. You're going out live on Facebook. You might as well make some noise. Eh? Second place, Damien Purificardi makes up one more position as well. In fact, stays exactly where he was. Hey? Nicely done. And unfortunately, just missing out on the perfect season by one race. Let's hear it for Lance Isaacs. Lance Isaacs, well done, big guy. Get up there, big guy. Awesome job. There you have it. Third place is going to be handed out by... Oh, no, we're going to bring up Byron first of all. Byron Bester is going to get the Motul Rider of the Day after finishing up in the top spot in his Super 600 that he's had all season long, and also wrapping up the Regional 600 Championship here today. So good job. Well done, Byron Bester. High-tech Elements, Grange Workwear, Kawasaki this time, not the Triumph. Third is going to be handed out by Stephen Watson. Thank you, sir. Second will be by Tim Cook to Damien Purificati. There you go, nice, eh? Nothing like Lance Isaac giving you some hell up there, hey? And finally, Raymond from Pirelli will hand out to Lance Isaacs. Lance, if you want that first place one from the first one, just have a chat to Hendrik. I'm sure he'll sell it to you. Ladies and gents, let's make some noise there for your Supermasters. And, of course, for the man who took the Motor Rider of the Day, Byron Bester. I told you. Gonna get today. Alrighty then. Okay, as soon as you're done, we still got another podium to do, so come on down here, you punks. Right, Hendrik. Fortunately, you went from the top to the bottom, but needless to say, that still secures you third place in the championship overall.
Yeah, that's what I worked for, so I'm happy with that. I had a good start, and then I sort of kept with the mid-pack, but then with about 5 laps in, the bike started bogging, and then with the last 3 or 4 laps, just didn't rev past 10,000 RPM, but I'm happy with the result. So yeah, overall I'm excited.
Coming back for more next year?
Definitely, yes.
Oh, we can't wait. Well done, buddy. It's a great job and a valiant effort. D, in you come, big guy. Come and have a chat with us just so we can get some branding in the background. It's all about getting the second place in this championship, and you've had a great season. Unfortunately, you had to fight hard with a man with probably the most experience in the world here in South Africa. But needless to say, you held it and your own.
Yeah, Lance was supposed to let me win this race, if you recall, from PE. He said it on the podium, but anyway, I forgive him for that. I battled a lot the whole weekend, and opened my compression 1 turn, and wow, 2 seconds. I'm chuffed. So yeah, for me, it's just personal best lap times, and I'm happy. Yeah.
Looking forward to more of the same next year and coming back to fight it out and possibly take him on again?
Yes, definitely. But yeah, my beautiful fiance is pregnant, as everyone knows, so we'll see how much sleep I get and then take it from there.
Yeah, I think that means Nikki's going to be doing a lot of the job as opposed to what you're doing. But congratulations nonetheless.
Thank you very much.
Awesome job, Dad. That's Damien Purificati, second overall. Lance Isaacs, he was crowned already down at Desi's Raceway for the Masters Championship, so he'll be happy about that. Take us through race 1, buddy. It didn't quite go according to plan. You didn't even make it out onto the grid, man. What happened?
Yeah, I didn't make it to the grid. Unfortunately, I ran out of talent in warm-up this morning. So, it was just unfortunately one of those things. This is the first crash I've had this entire season, so I suppose you got to break a few eggs to make an omelette sometimes. So all I have to say to my team, Dean, James, Garth, you guys absolutely rock. For you guys to actually pull it together, and everybody that actually helped out to get my Superbets Santon Auto BMW Motorrad back on the grid. Thank you guys very, very much. I really appreciate all the support and all the help. You guys didn't need to do that, but thanks, guys from Gas. You guys have done an awesome job this year. I think it's just testament to things that are coming for next year, and we just need to keep the flag flying high. I think the formula has worked, so I seriously look forward to next year. Maybe fielding some more bikes under the Lance Isaacs Racing banner.
Well, that's what I said to you down in Desi's. I know there's a couple of guys that are really keen to get involved with you. Also looking at the fact that you had a chance last weekend to fight it out with some of the Thunderbike riders at Kyalami, and with that being on the cards for next year, it just bodes well for your bike particularly to go well, because a win on the BMW is definitely on the cards in the very near future.
No, absolutely. There definitely are wins on the cards for the BMW. Just unfortunately this year, Yamaha came out with a little bit of a weapon. We were caught with our pants around our ankles, and you know what? I didn't give up. A lot of guys pulled the pin and jumped ship. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still fighting for the top 5 positions in the SuperGP Championship trophy. Masters, great. It was a great win. It was a near perfect season. But you know what? I want to win the main show. And I think at the tender age of 39, I've still got it in me. But I'll out swinging next year. That's for sure.
Does that mean we're going to see a 39 on that bike next year?
Hell no.
I didn't think so. 38 special, Sir Lancelot back in the house, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and finally, let's have a quick chat to Byron Bester. Dude, you've had a busy season all along, and of course, coming from the EJC Cup and getting 12th place overall there, coming in, taking part in the final race and a change of ship from your trusty Triumph onto the Kawasaki. It worked out well, and Motor Rider of the Day.
Yeah, it was really good. After, like you said, after EJC, we didn't expect a 600 regional championship, so yeah, I'm pretty like myself chuffed.
Not only is it a EJC 12th place, you got a back-to-back title with 250 Cup last year, straight into regional 600s. You're showing the guys how the step-up process should work.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't think it's like really hit me yet, but it will eventually. Like everything just happened, so yeah.
Looking forward to next year, I'm sure. All the very best. Congratulations on the Motor Rider of the Day there for Bar Investor. All right, finally, ladies and gents, we've still got our overall champions to be crowned here today and to get their trophies. And I'm just going to double check here with Steve. Going to do it. Are we going to go Super Juniors first? So Super Juniors, I'm sure Aiden Liebenberg is sticking around somewhere. He is indeed. It doesn't matter what step you stand on. It doesn't really matter. You're the first man, so you can go to the top if you want to. But there he is. Your Super Junior champion for 2016, Aiden Liebenberg. On the top step, buddy. There you go. And Stephen Watson will hand that trophy to him. How awesome is that DO Super GP Champions Trophy? And that's our Super Junior #1 for 2016, ladies and gents. Next up, we're going to ask the Master. So from the Junior to the Master, Lance Isaacs, will you take the top step, please, sir? We can hand you your Super GP Champions Trophy, the actual trophy this time, for the Masters category. Lance Isaacs. There you have it. Great stuff. As Lance steps down, we're going to ask Adolf Boshoff to go up to collect his Super 600 Champions Trophy. Up you go, Adolf. There you go. And getting the trophy from Stephen Watson from Gas Sports. Your 2016 Super 600 champion. Keeping it in the family and keeping it in the Yamaha family, taking, of course, double race wins here today and the championship after race #1. Your Super GP Champions Trophy champion for 2016, the Umhlanga Rocket, Matt Goltz. Had to work hard for this one, but he eventually got it. There it is. And heading into Westby Yamaha next year. Wish him all the very best. And that brings us to the end of an incredible 2016 championship. I'm sure Rod Portman is around here somewhere. All champions up there, please. All the champions up there. Rob's on his way in. We can just get all the champions on there just for a multiple champion shot quickly. Let's go height-wise. So like the tallest oak must go at the bottom. Lance Isaacs, if you wouldn't mind coming up just for a photo shoot there, please, sir. Lance Isaacs, so yeah, it's Byron Bestis. Byron Bester left his cap behind. It's going to now be Rob Portman's. Lance Isaacs is probably headed down to his pit right now, so there you go. Oh, fighting words there, hey? I like it. I like it. There you go. Labels out, guys. Labels out. The names are on it, dude. There you go. Great job, guys. Congratulations once again. There's your 3 champions, Super Junior, Super 600, and Super GP. All right, so this is what it's all about in the Super GP Champions Trophy. Rob Portman, some of the most incredible racing we've had all season. Now, we say this every single time, but literally here at Red Star Raceway, for the final time of asking, they definitely kept the best to last.
After every race meeting this year, we've said what an amazing championship it's been, and you can't bet it. And then we came here today, and what a way to end off the season. I mean, unfortunate that Sella had the crash in race 1, not to push Scholz all to race #2, but either way, the racing action was international. We took it international with Facebook today, and I'm sure we're going to see millions of viewers tune into it and recognize the talent that we now have in the Super GP Championship.
Of course, out of this and into 2017 now, because we're done and dusted. The champions are crowned 2017. looking incredible. Not only are we going to have our own standalone championship, but we're going to go for 2 races down to PE and East London, to Cape Town, where we combine with the Extreme Festival. So it's just going to get bigger and better and absolutely amazing in SuperGP Champions Trophy. Stephen Watson, come on in here, sir. I know you want to come and have a quick chat. This is what it's all about. This is what your dream has come true here, sir. There's no doubt about it. It's been 3 years of incredibly hard work. And when you look at the kind of racing we pulled off today, we went live on Facebook, we went live on your page. It's just the way motorcycle racing is going all around the world, but particularly here in South Africa.
Yeah, we are super proud to have got to the 3rd year and turnaround strategy for motorcycle racing in South Africa. And it's really starting to work. I guess like any business, you've got to cross that 1,000 days. But you know, I just want to have a big shout out to all the competitors over the 3 years who've stuck by us, stuck through the doubts, and hung in there. And they're really making the show today. And we're seeing that standalone motorcycle racing is working. We've got a lot of sponsor interests. Our teams have got sponsor interests. We've got greater broadcast interest, and we're embracing new technology on making sure fans worldwide can reach us. But I also want to give a big shout out to you two. You know, you really bring the excitement to the racing. We know you're passionate. We know you're enthusiastic. And it shows in your commentary, and you bring the excitement into the sport for the viewers that are sitting on the couch. So really top job, guys. You're part of the evolution of SuperGP, and you're helping us make the show better and better. So world-class job to you and to Tim Cook and the Gas Sports team. Really, guys, you've put on a great show, and we're super proud. And, you know, we're going to sign another 3-year deal with Motorsport South Africa. We're in it till year 6, and this is going to just get bigger and better and better.
Watch the space. 2017, 2018, and 2019, SuperGP is going bigger and better. From us here at the SuperGP team, on behalf of everybody involved in the series, and on behalf of all our sponsors and all of the partners behind the DO SuperGP Championship Trophy, we thank you very much for an incredible season, and we look forward to seeing you at round 1 in 2017.